Hello. Well, my favorite series of books is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. And I really like this series because I think J.K. Rowling is a very creative person because she's able to create a whole different parallel world of characters and places. And her books are very detailed. And the Harry Potter series is good for children. It's a universal book. It's not childish and it's not too adult. And it teaches us about, because Harry Potter is very lonely, or he's very, people hold stuff against him, but he's able to overcome that and just be himself and things. And we can learn that from the Harry Potter series.
So my favorite book is Masters of the Game by Sidney Sheldon. I really like the book because it has expanded my knowledge on the different adversaries that an individual can face in life. If there was an aspect of the book that I would apply in my life, it would be the value of perseverance and to push hard for anything that you want in life.
Okay, so I don't have a favorite book, but my favorite series would be Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. And honestly speaking, it's just a superbly written series. The description is amazing, the characters are fantastic, and they all seem so real. And the level of detail in the books, it's amazing. No wonder it's a look, right? Yeah, I haven't learned any life lessons from it, but I think the way he writes is something to learn from. I think I tried to apply the way he describes in my English, and I think it's helped. So that's what I want to say.
All right. A book I read in the library that I particularly find interesting is this book called Lightning by Dean Koontz. I remember Ms. Baffawa made us read it in class before every lesson. Not that book in particular, but then a book. And it's very interesting. It's kind of fiction, but realistic because we can really relate to the characters. And it's about this girl who had her whole life changed by some stranger that she calls her guardian angel, who only seems to appear during a lightning storm and serious times in her life. And it's really thrilling, a lot of suspense. I could barely put the book down when I was reading. And I like it a lot. And according to Ms. Baffawa, Dean Koontz is very known for thriller and suspenseful books. Any life lessons? Well, it's good to be cautious, and even when the worst happens to you, just know that there's always someone looking out for you. And even if things get really, really bad, like beyond you can imagine, out of your power, just know that you'll get through it and any challenge can be overcome.
Okay, so my favorite story is actually a series of 5 books by George R. R. Martin called A Song of Ice and Fire. Many people know it's by the show A Game of Thrones. And why I like this series is because no one is safe. We're used to the protagonist in literature getting through safe. You know, Superman will survive. But in this book, your favorite character could die at any moment. So I think it reflects actuality and real life, because anyone could go through that. Some of the lessons you learn from this book are that maybe greed isn't always the best thing when it comes to getting what you want. A lot of characters are hungry for power and it ends up ruining them. Something else is that the good guy doesn't always win. Sometimes in life, bad people do get what they want and there's nothing you can do about it. That's the reality of things.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to talk about one book that I read and I liked it. Okay, it's about literature. Her husband has gone mad again. No, I will talk about Broken April by Ismail Kadari. I like this book because it was talking about a book of rules that one country follows, which was quite bizarre for me to actually read it because it was talking about them killing each other or in the name of revenge, because that was what was written in the book called the canon. Because this canon to them, it seems to be like a Bible, so they have to follow the commandments that are in the canon. So it was really interesting for me to see the people following it like this, because they were killing each other, and it looked like a movie to me instead of it being a real life situation, because it's still happening it's still happening in the real world, and this canon still exists. And it impacted my life, seeing how people can be heartless and kill each other, or in the name of the beliefs that they have of their ancestors, instead of making a change in the environment they're in, or instead of trying to adapt to a change that the other people are following, because it seems like it's only one country that is doing this, but the rest of countries have evolved and new things are happening, but this country seems to be persistent to the change that they're in. And it taught me that sometimes it's good to allow change into your life, because you might not know what it will have, what kind of an impact it will have on you. So yeah, I like the book.
Book is Strong Medicine. The author of the book is Arthur Haley. This is a book that talks about a drug, thalidomide, which was a strong drug produced for women who wanted to circumvent morning sickness during pregnancy. And it's quite interesting to realize that yes, the woman did circumvent this problem, but then the children who were born had defects. To be more specific, their limbs were not fully developed. For me, this book teaches me how important it is to be very extensive when it comes to scientific research, and ensure that you have completed the full cycle of the research, which means that you have actually tested it on the whole range of mammals, possibly up to humans who accept to be tested on it before commercializing any drug. It also taught me that certain processes that are painful in life are actually important processes that bear fruit somewhere else, which does teach us that, as the saying goes, no pain, no gain. So it's important for us to always realize that pain is not always a bad thing, but sometimes there's a need for the pain because then a process is going on which is important. By and large, this is the one book, even though I always would acknowledge Chinua Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart, because that book for me as well is extremely phenomenal. The way Achebe uses proverbs to demonstrate the richness of the African life, and the way certain things such as titles in Africa push people to do things which otherwise they would not have done. For me, these two books are phenomenal. Thank you.
Bon, bonsoir. J'ai lu beaucoup de livres dans ma vie, mais il y a beaucoup, en fait, qui m'ont vraiment plu et que j'ai vraiment adoré. Le premier, en fait, qui m'a vraiment influencé, c'est écrit en évé dans ma langue locale. Le titre, c'est Agbezougué, tout simplement l'histoire de Agbezougué. Le nom même de ce livre, le titre même de ce livre est révélateur parce que c'est le nom du personnage principal de ce livre. Et puis ce personnage a pour nom qui veut dire ma vie est toute une histoire, où on peut dire que ma vie est un problème que je dois transporter. Et le livre, à plusieurs égards, parle de l'histoire de ce jeune homme au temps des guerres Ashanti, quand les Ashanti faisaient leurs guerres d'expansion. Ils avaient voulu conquérir beaucoup de terres. Et donc, ils ont fait des guerres avec les Évés. Et il y a une famille qui a été particulièrement touchée par cette guerre. Ce jeune homme a été laissé par ses parents parce qu'il était trop petit et il ralentissait la fuite de ses parents. Et c'est son histoire, en fait, comment il a été délaissé par ses parents, comment il a vécu dans cette guerre, à travers les forêts, toute son histoire en fait, qui était très touchant, très révélateur. Ça révèle donc un peu la condition humaine, des questions d'existence, comment est-ce que nous luttons chaque jour pour survivre. C'est de cette manière-là que j'ai été touché par le livre. Et ça m'a permis de comprendre un peu plus la vie.